Hey and welcome back to Tales of Reddit. Today we're going to be getting into some crazy Reddit confession stories, and we're going to be covering 3 stories here, and they're pretty crazy. And before we get into it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get into some crazy Reddit confession stories. Story number 1. I don't have any positive emotions towards my child. I've never wanted kids. Even my younger cousins or when I had a baby sibling while being late in my teens, I've never found them cute or even wanted to interact with them. My wife got pregnant, and because I know they're my responsibility and because I'm not an awful person, I need to stick around and provide for them both. But I just can't say I love him. I don't think I hate or dislike my son by any means, but I know I don't love him. I hate when he cries when I'm sleeping, and I just immediately get upset every time he cries. I never act out or get aggressive with him though. I hate bath time and tummy time. I just don't want to be a father in general, and it's really upsetting, I guess, that it won't really get any easier from here. I've always been more selfish with my own time and money, and know I have very little of both because I have to take care of him. I hate having to creep around my own house when he's sleeping. I hate the near constant crying. I hate diaper changes. I don't even really like holding him. I still do my part in taking care of him, and my wife thinks I'm a great husband and father because I do what's needed of me and take care of them both, and I know I'm awful for feeling this way, but I guess I needed someone to tell because it's kind of eating me up inside. I don't know what to do about this. I know it sounds like I'm whiny and immature, and maybe I am, but this is just how I feel inside. Story number 2. I do literally nothing at work for 7 months now, and nobody has noticed. My day is pretty boring. I get to work, I open my PC, and I stare at my screen for 8 hours straight. Most days I have absolutely nothing to do, and the days there's some work, it takes at most a couple hours of my time. I work in an open space, but nobody has noticed, so I guess I'm really good at seem busy. My bosses respect me and even thank me for my work. I don't know for how long I will be able to keep going, but I'm going to exploit the situation the best I can. It's also my first job and an entry role without much room for progress. Story number 3. I got approved for visitation, and I'm honestly not sure if I want to go. So my son's father is in prison for 2 years. That may not seem like a lot of time for most, but for me it seems like forever. This is his second rodeo, and I'm not really sure what to think or how to think. I filled out unnecessary paperwork, and literally it took about a month for me to get approved. Like, I was so sure I wasn't going to get approved in the back of my head. I felt like I wasn't going to get approved, but I had no reason not to be approved. I never really realized how expensive it is not only for me to communicate with him. Everything in prison requires money, from the visits to the phone calls to the commentary, everything. The crazy part is I wanted to go see him at first so bad, but now that I have gotten relaxed in my own space with my son without his father, I'm not sure if I really want to go. I think I may just be scared of what's going to happen when I get there. I've never been to a visitation before. Hell, I've never really been in the situation like this before. I mean, the last time he was locked up, he was in the county jail, and I believe he stayed there for like almost a year, never going to prison. But this time he's going to prison. I don't want to be the type of person that just walks away from somebody when they need you, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, if the shoe was on the other foot, would he stay? And I already know the answer is no. Anyway, I got approved for visitations today. Story number 4. I'm worried my son isn't mine because of a threesome. Basically, about 7 years ago, my partner, F25, and I, M24, were exploring. We had decided that we would open the relationship to a close friend, and we started having threesomes. Started out pretty normal, and we also started more into cuckolding, if anything. Some medical things ended up coming up, and we kind of just stopped, but she fell pregnant to me. I think it was to me. Around this time, when she got tested, she was around 10 weeks pregnant. It didn't really dawn on me until earlier this year. At this point, I'm just concerned really that the child isn't mine. I've raised him for his whole life, and I'm just super worried that I'm not the kid's dad. I would love to get a DNA test done, but the idea that he's not mine would absolutely destroy me. Edit. I've decided ultimately to talk to my wife about all my concerns, and I think I don't really have much choice other than to do the testing for my son, who deserves to know everything about himself medically. I'll just let this post go at this point. Edit 2. Sat down with my wife and discussed my concerns. She's pretty much willing to go about this any way that I want to. She believes that he's my son, but is more than happy to do a test just to really make sure. So the next update will be after the test, which they say will get back to me in 5 days after I receive it, so I'm expecting about a week and a little. Story number 5. My mom banged my friend. I had no clue this was going on. I had a buddy I used to chill with after school. One day me and said buddy went to a show. After the show, we went back to my place to crash. I remember my father not being home. Once we were asleep, my buddy awoke me and told me he was going to the restroom. I thought nothing of this. After a while, I hear moaning in my parents' room. I was in such shock, I did not know what to do. I feel like I lost my mother to all of this. I feel broken a little by all of this. I hope you enjoyed, and please subscribe and like the video and comment what your favorite story was. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.